beautiful French onion pot roast using this chuck.
Now, beef chuck used to be really cheap, and now it's gone way up in price. So maybe we should start calling it Charles.
Now, I'm at the bottom of my weekly bag of onions, which means I have the smallest onions known to mankind that I'm working with. But that's okay. We're just gonna cut up a lot of them. I have most of a bulb of garlic. I'm just honestly gonna cut this in half down the middle, throw that in the Dutch oven with the beef, and I think it'll be pretty good. It'll be roasted at the end of it, and I can just kind of squeeze it over the potatoes I'm gonna do. And then just some carrots, because why not?
As you can see, I am a master of the blade, and I have achieved uniform thickness throughout. Next, I'm going to whip up a quick coating for the beef. Some flour will help keep the beef tender and will help make the gravy nice and thick. A little bit of salt, pepper, some onion powder, and a little bit of granulated garlic. Next, get your Dutch oven nice and hot on your stove. Throw in some olive oil and butter. I like to use both because butter provides lots of flavor and the olive oil prevents it from burning. Next, you can throw your coating on your beef. Make sure to shake off any excess so it doesn't look like a weird birthday cake. And then you're ready to throw it in the Dutch oven to sear. Make sure you brown it evenly on all sides so it doesn't boil in the oven. Otherwise your wife will leave you for another man who knows how to cook. See all that stuff at the bottom? I don't want that to go to waste, so I'm going to deglaze the Dutch oven before I do anything else. This just involves throwing in a little bit of olive oil, sauteing those vegetables so they can soak up all that flavor. Next you can throw in some beef broth to loosen up those burnt bits. After that, some red wine. I like this brand because it's not very sugary, and you won't feel like a pile of trash after drinking a glass or two. Next, preheat your oven to 275 and throw in all your spices. Next, you can throw your meat back in the Dutch oven, throw in some Steamin' Easies if you want, the grossest name for a frozen vegetable. Throw in your garlic that's been cut in half, and a bay leaf for what I'm sure is a very important reason. And you're ready to go. Remember guys, buy yourself a lodge. Creusets are for wedding registries. Next, I'm going to quarter some red potatoes for mashing. I like to leave the skins on because I think it gives it more flavor. I'm also way too lazy to peel them. Once the water's boiling, drop them on in, and depending on the size, they should take about 15 to 20 minutes until they're tender when you poke them with a fork. Kind of like me. Once they've drained for a minute or two, add them back to your pot. Then throw in some butter or ghee like I have here, a splash of milk, and then get to mashing for a few minutes. Once they're pretty mashed, I like to throw in some Parmesan cheese, some garlic powder, some salt, and some cracked black pepper. Once it's all in, I like to whip it with a fork for at least a minute or two. This helps get all the clumps out and makes them really creamy. Don't be afraid to pull out the roast every once in a while and check on it to see how the beef is doing. It would take a very long time to overcook this, so if it seems like it's dry, it's probably just not completely cooked yet. Once you can easily pull it apart with a fork, it's ready to serve. Last thing, you can take that beautiful roasted garlic and squeeze it over those mashed potatoes. I'm honestly thrilled with how this came out, and it made me realize that if you don't have an Instant Pot or a crock pot, you can still make a really, really good pot roast.